Hi, and welcome to the daily reading for June the 14th. And June 14th's reading is coming from Time for Peace, Peace in Our Hearts, Peace in the World by Ruth Fishel, Daily Meditations for Peace and Healing. June 14th starts with a quote from Saskia Davis. Be on the lookout for symptoms of inner peace. The hearts of a great many have already been exposed to inner peace, and it is possible that people everywhere could come down with it in epidemic proportions. This can pose a serious threat to what has, up to now, been a fairly stable condition of conflict in the world. And I'm going to read that again. Be on the lookout for symptoms of inner peace. The hearts of a great many have already been exposed to inner peace, and it is possible that people everywhere could come down with it in epidemic proportions. This can pose a serious threat to what has, up to now, been a fairly stable condition of conflict in the world. And then Ruth goes on to say, more and more people every day are growing spiritually. Where the vast majority used to think that we could solve disagreements only through war, people are now turning to prayer and meditation with greater frequency. People are learning that peace begins with each and every one of us, and that when we are peaceful, we pass peace on to all those with whom we come in contact. This results naturally in our being happier. What a wonderful vision this quote brings to mind. Today, I am focusing only on things that bring me inner peace. I'm passing this on to others with a smile, a kind word, a generous deed, or simply a loving thought. This is a beautiful book. You know, it's available on Amazon. It's available on Ruth Fishel's website, which is ruthfishel.com. And it is a daily inspiration about peace and peace in the world, but peace beginning within. But isn't it a wonderful thought that we could have an epidemic of peace, inner peace? It's an epidemic. Isn't that an epidemic you would love to wish upon the world? It certainly is one that I would love to wish upon the world, instead of this fairly stable condition of conflict. You know, there is so much conflict, and conflict begins within that person that is involved in that bigger conflict. The conflict, like the peace, is within. So when a peaceful person is in contact with others, that peace is passed on. When someone who is in conflict with themselves is in contact with other people, that conflict is felt by others, and often it will lead to more conflict because the other people will feel the conflict and get involved in it if we're not careful. So war is not the answer, in my humble opinion, and it is only my humble opinion. And I know that people will protest about that opinion, and I'm okay with that because, you know, we have proven that war, you know, World War I was called the war to end all wars. It was dreadful. I mean, it was just dreadful. It was a dreadful war. So many people, young men, children killed, really, and civilians. But it was deemed the war to end all wars. So why, only a few short years later, really, did we have World War II? Why? And why do we have all these little wars going on around the world, which aren't little wars to the people who are involved in them? You know, the people who are suffering through them, they are huge wars to them. You know, there's so many countries at the moment, so many civilizations that are suffering from war. Wouldn't it be great if they suffered from peace, inner peace? That's what we want the world to be suffering from. You know, but it's not suffering. It would not be suffering. Inner peace is not suffering. You know, and it's, again, I get very passionate when I talk about peace in the world because I do believe it's possible. And I do believe that war is not the answer. And I would maybe be even strong enough to have a debate with someone on that subject now, because I am quite strong in my opinion on inner peace being the way that we have to start with ourselves. You know, if everyone in the world was sitting quietly with themselves on a regular daily basis and looking at, you know, the conflict within themselves and trying to solve that first, we would have no wars in the world, you know, because people wouldn't have that need to go out and fight for that power to fight because they have this inner conflict within themselves. And I could go on about this topic forever, but today I'm focusing only on things that bring me inner peace. I'm passing this on to you with a smile, a kind word, a generous deed, and simply a loving thought. A loving thought can go a long way because our thoughts are very powerful. Okay, namaste, love to you all. Bye now.